Good morning, guys, and welcome to iPhone Smart. Just a quick preview. Big day today, Summer Cup, and tomorrow is also the start of the kennel season for the Cape. Now, the first race, obviously, nothing here as far as any data is concerned because they're all first timers, as that one suggests next to their name. There's quite a few with some money with them. And you'll also see there's a few with some flaming jockey trainer flames. According to the probability stats, we've had 10 probability stats races at Turffontein over the 800 meters class F, and of those 10, quite a big proportion, 4 out of 10, has been won by Element C's representative opening betting. So that's 44% of that. So, with nothing else to go for, I'm going to go with Element C in the first. I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Peter also has some decent day. So his stablemate Belisavar is probably one to also consider there. And then you'll see a flame moving here on a 25-1 shot. Robbie Sage, only runner for the day, 66% to place with Pibe de Oro, 220,000 purchase, One World. And not much to say about the first race. It does look like Janssen van Vieren will have a pretty decent day as well, so I wouldn't leave out the Janssen van Vieren as an option even in the first, Simply Majestic. The trainers you need to look for today: Janssen van Vieren, Tony Peter, and then AG Laird looks pretty okay, Alec Laird. And but we'll go through a couple of them just now. It's also Richard for his birthday. Happy birthday, Richard. And he's riding for Terry today in everything except for the last race where he's riding for Zaki. So in the second, the first of the bipods, our top rated here is Virgin River. So it could be that Kelvin Habib starts with the winner in the first and winner in the second. So maybe that's a little nibble on there. The highest probability to win here as well. So you've got a 44% for Kelvin Habib in the previous race. Here you've got a 35% from a much bigger random size of 119 previous Turffontein 1160 Class G races that we have rated in the past. And you can find them all there by just changing your date to as far back 5 years if you want to see everything else in the past. Not much to choose with them on the bat figures with Dual Prophecy, 1 of 2 for Joey Soma. Craig Zaki takes the right. Tongue Tie's been taken on. Based on Greenie points, 23% to win. And also 24% on the bat curve. Very little between him, 0.26 lengths between Dual Prophecy and Virgin River on the bat curve. And then a bit of a roughie here for third. Paul Matchett's third run after a rest with Chariot Penny on board. 20-1, top on exotic ranking, interesting, at 26% chance to win. So one to also keep in mind of. Then you've got Clinton Binder's only runner here in a fix at 18% chance at 25-1. So these are the kind of things where on the woof factor, the win odds edge factor, you have an edge, obviously, if you have in this case, for instance, a 26% chance on exotic ranking for a 20-1 shot. We saw day before yesterday, we had a 26% chance for a 66-1 shot. World Bird or something, Clinton Binder's last race, 66-1, and needless to say, we took some of that. In the third race, started the PA, 29% to win, top-rated Perfect Witness. Candice Dawson, one of only 2 for the day. And then Tony Peter could potentially be trying the double on Street Art as well with Jason Gates. That's the second choice. And then spare a thought here for our 20-1 shot, change of gear. And Alec Laird and Caden Brewer, just following up after Alec Laird also was top rated in the second with Virgin River. So just watch out if Alec Laird could be potentially trying the double here on Stark Coin, which is supported by a bat curve figure 8.05 lengths better than the field, and a 28% chance to win, as we just explained, for a 20-1 shot is pretty decent. It's not the best in the field, which is Perfect Witness at 29%. Street Art is also at 28%. Actually, Street Art is also at 31% here. So those are my three: Perfect Witness, Street Art, and Star Coin is my three in that order. Moving on to the fourth race, and that's the start of the pick six. And yeah, here we have Tony Peter with the main defender that was backed into 8 to 10 based on his 1400 meters form. He won his last two 1400 meter races at this course. If you took the course here, you'll see the 1400 Turffontein. You can also do that with all the at the bottom here, and you can just streamline your selections by taking less data. In other words, just the first 168 days, and just take everything within the valid of today's distance. That's the valid bomb rolls, or you can just take the distance itself, just today's distance. Then you obviously have less. This is today, 0 days. That's 168 days ago, and these are the bat figures, the bomb roll figures, the adjusted time, the speed rating, the median speed, exact distance, median speed, and links behind or collateral form tool. So yeah, lots to talk about in this race. It's got a bit of an open field, way more open than main defender at 8 to 10, based on winning two at Turffontein over 240 meters further. So his stablemate is our top rated with the actual course and distance form. You'll see that 1201, 1201, then 1000, 1001, 1200 second, 1000 seconds. A very consistent Captain Hindsight. He's also the 21% based on overall ranking, RA, 23% on exotic ranking, 16% on adjusted time, 14% on speed rating, 18% on exact distance, and yeah, the 20% here belongs to bat CD of roll with the punches. Now, 20% chance on bat CD. We just sort that on bat CD. Now, what bat CD is it's essentially the purple bat, or the exact same course and the exact same distance. So let me just take Captain Hindsight and main defender, the two biggest rivals, and you'll see the bat CD figure is only there if it's the exact same course and the exact same distance. So if you look at a 4.4, oh, okay, hang on, let me just put the more than 168 days back as well. And now let's do that exercise again. So you'll see main defender here doesn't have any, because he hasn't done the 1160, and yet he's 8 to 10 at the moment. His stablemate Captain Hindsight, however, has, and that gives him a bat CD of 19.82 based on his merit rating. And if you just follow up here, you'll see it only has a bat CD for when it's the exact same course and distance. And rolling with the punches with Gavin Lorena on board, the previous time when Gavin Lorena was on board was backed in from 2 into 1.5, and was in really good form at the time. And a 58 adjusted time from a 60 weight. Today's carrying 56, so that's 4 kilos down on that very good time of a 58. Considering Captain Hindsight also in good going had a 58.61, and he's carrying 2 less today. We're rolling with the punches has a 58 here, carrying 3.5 less, and a 57.09 carrying the same. So you'll see that 4.41 and that 11 is both better than that 19.8 of Captain Hindsight. Obviously, as I just said, the favorite at 8 to 10 could be anything, or could be bushed, because he hasn't done the 1160. Others to consider here is the only runner Ultra Magnus for Peter Mascott, third run after a rest. It's older than the field average. That's what that little icon is meaning there. At 20 to 1, a bit of a roughie to consider as well, given the consistency curve over the last 8 months is 3.7 lengths on second. Then Sean Terry and Richard Fourie, Swing Upon a Star is an interesting one. 11% on bat 42 figures, coming to form now by the look of it. And then obviously the 4.4, 4 lengths better on Captain Hindsight. So I've gone with Captain Hindsight and roll with the punches here on my fantasy team selection. Others to consider: Ultra Magnus, main defender, Dice, Mercantor, Gladiatorian, only runner for Ferry with Yeni, nice flashing here, 100% on Jockey Trainer. Moonshining 3 with Moodley. It's not often I see Moodley running for Janssen van Vuren, so I'd be a bit worried about that combination today. I'll see them later as well, and I'll show you how just now what I'm seeing. But yeah, a bit of a tough one here for the first leg of the pick six, if you asked me. But those are the ones that I'm actually considering. We did do a editor's pick six bipod, everything else at the bottom here. Here's the algorithms one. Here's the other algorithms for the EXP, exotic picks 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's PA and bipod. That's PA and bipod. That's pick six jackpot, and other if you want a bigger perm. We said Richard Foury's birthday is today, so happy birthday to Richard Foury. But yeah, all those notes, you can also make your own notes at the bottom there for when you see something and you don't want anyone else to know about it, then no one else will see it if it's just a note for yourself. Moving on to the fifth race, and here we have a green in the form of White Pearl, the top rated. And funny enough, Mr. Pierce Striker straight on board with a flame on the 100% for the places on Jockey Trainer combo. But it's got a few things going for it, as it's top rated in quite a lot of them. I think the biggest danger is the 14-1 Ivy League based on their previous run. If you look at these two on the 28th of October, they ran each other. In the Star, JP van der Merwe was on, now Pierce Strydom was on, back in from 2 into 8 to 10, so obviously a lot of money for him there. But the Ivy League was 2.5 lengths behind when Kumalo was on board. And yeah, so it's only 2.1 lengths difference between the two, and he's from a one draw today. So Barend Botha also got his third run after a rest today. He was second run after a rest, but so was White Pearl last time. He's prepped well for the third run after a rest today. But you'll see on Ivy League, he's got some earlier figures here that's pretty decent on the line bat horse. The line bats is all the purple ones, and the one at the summary at the top that's highlighted is the best purple one, the best line bat horse, which is obviously White Pearl, and that you can see on that 0 there is the line horse, or our handicap. We do our own handicapping system as well. And White Pearl and Ivy League for me is the first two choices. Others to consider, we did mention Platina Princess when it was still a 2-year-old coming out and winning like an absolute superstar. So could get any amount of improvement, and is not far off. So probably be the biggest improver in the shortest amount of time, given that it's a Mike Cock. And yeah, it's only a little baby still, born on the 2nd of November 2023. So it's only just over 3 years now, so a bit of a roughie there to consider. And then, yeah, Egyptian Mao is another one maybe to consider. But my main White Pearl and Ivy League then, with Egyptian Mao and Platina Princess. Moving over to the sixth race. Oh yeah, and it's 36% P-stats for White Pearl. It's not really great for the odds that you're getting, but it is at least a 1 out of 3 chance for it to win. In the sixth race, we've now had two scratches, and there's a 5 to 10 horse here, Sandringham Summit, and Gavin Larena takes the ride. I've got a few concerns here for Sandringham Summit though. It should clearly win by plenty. On the 42 days, it's 3 lengths better than Pure Predator, which is the second best. It's in red because it's not over the exact same distance range than today, so that's a 1600 that we're looking at. And if we just see where it was 1,000 meters where it got that red one as its best figure, but it didn't do it any other time. So yeah, maybe a flash in the pan. It was also when Pierce Strydom was on board and not Kumalo. Now Kumalo's on board for the first time. They do get blinkers on as well. Yeah, so interesting little roughie at 33 to 1, but yeah, I'd say there's bigger dangers for him really. If he does do the 1600, there was some signs that he could when he was backed in on a 1400 Turffontein from 3 into 2 when Gavin Larena was riding. So there was some signs that he could like the extra distance. When he went to the 1600, that was a feature, so that was fine that he was actually drifting, and maybe he wasn't even trying from the 10 draw. So today, third run after a rest, maybe a bit of a roughie to consider. The other one I'd be considering as well, the one has done the purple bat CD, exact course and distance, purple picture, but because that's a 33.33 lengths worse than the class average for, well, it's a grade 2, maybe not as big a concern, but it has done well over the 1600 and even won over the 18. It's won 4 out of 4 with Matsunyane on board. Had lots of support, so obviously he's improving for Robin Klaasen quite nicely. It's got flames there because the 57% win percentage on Matsunyane and Klaasen, and for the horse, the 4 out of 4, I just showed you 100% chance. 4 out of 4 for Purple Pitcher. So I'll include Purple Pitcher in there as well. And maybe the third one I want to mention is purely on another raider, and you don't raid very well when you come to Turffontein, not often, but Frank Robinson is here with Mexican Pete, and Mexican Pete did get the best adjusted time, best speed rating, which is a little bit more than the best speed that over the 1600 at Turffontein. You see that's why it's just over 100. So maybe another little roughie to consider with Muzieni also obviously going for the Jockey Champs. So, and then House of Romanov is at 24% on exotic ranking that you probably should be looking at because it's got some good things like Super Rule percentage, 7 out of 10, 17% on intentions, total points, even a little bit better than Sandringham Summit. So Tony Peter is going to have a really, really strong day today. So maybe another roughie to concern. So I'm going to go Sandringham Summit, Purple Pitcher, Mexican Pete, Pure Predator, House of Romanov, and Give Me Another Chance, which also goes a very big red flame with Craig Zaki on board, 100% here for the places. Another big improver as only 2020 born. So yeah, choose to bank a Sandringham Summit. Otherwise, I'd at least take Purple Pitcher, Mexican Pete, Pure Predator, and House of Romanov, and Give Me Another Chance. Those are my 6. But yeah, obviously it's your risk, it's your money. So it's a 36% chance for it to win on the grade 2. For a 5 to 10 horse, 36% chance to win. Not really the kind of thing that I'd be investing in. It would be a mathematically wrong decision to do that as far as our probability stats is concerned. In the 7th race, we have a Porto Manzana from a very bad 16 draw here as top rated with a 29% chance here on the opening betting. Opening betting also goes to Winchester Mansion. We've got in 6 rated down here. Others to consider I always like on the Bat C is 28% to win on Bat C for Atticus Finch. So 28% for a 6 to 1 is not bad. And then something like a roughie of note, Royal Victory. It's a 50 to 1 shot, but a 50 to 1 shot is an only runner from Nathan Kotson with a joker. The joker meaning that it's also owner has got some connections with the owner and the trainer. Muzieni has a very nice 57.89% place and 10.5 win. So yeah, they'll be trying with it. It's not really informed the trainer, 23 runs since the last win for the trainer, but I wouldn't be surprised if they would try. And then I want to show you something else, the stablemate of the top-rated Bingwa. Now, Bingwa is another 50 to 1 shot. Now, Bingwa is 3rd on the consistency as a 50 to 1 shot. And it's an older horse. Serena Moodley comes to join the party. And if you look at the BUM 84 formula, 31% chance to win for a 50 to 1 shot. And on the BUM 168, a 27% chance to win for a 51 shot. Something else I'd actually quite liked on the Bingwa versus Porto Manzano, which is a 4 to 1 shot, is their last run. You'll see the 1600 Turf CHMI. Porto Manzano won from a terrible 15 draw, so he wouldn't mind the 16 draw today. Even though he was drifted out to a 20 to 1, he still won. He won by half a length, and he's now carrying a half a kilo less today. Bingwa was 1.3 lengths behind him and was from a 1 draw. Today is from a 3 draw, still great. Was backed in from 10 into 6. Typical Janssen van Vuren stablemate of the favourite syndrome kind of thing. You'll see in the notes there. But was backed in that day. Kumalo didn't pull it off, and now Serena Moodley gets the chance. He's back at 50 to 1, and he's got a swing of 1.5 kilos on Porto Manzana. for that 1.3 length beating when there actually was some support from 10 into 6 on Bingwa, and Porto Manzano wasn't supposed to win. Drifted from a 6 to a 20. I guess at that time they saw Bingwa was not going to win, so he had no choice but to pull the trigger. And maybe today the trigger will be pulled by Bingwa. So, yeah, Bingwa is definitely one that I would consider in this race. And since it's Richard Foury's birthday today, the Bless My Stars here is another one that I'd consider, because he was in that same race as well. He's 1.5 kilos off, and he's got only 0.9 behind the winner. So he's another one that is to be considered in this race. He's from a nice 2 draw today, so I'd consider that as well. You'll see in the bottom here on all the collateral form on these when they were all running against each other, that yeah, there wasn't too much. What was it, the 28th of October? There wasn't too much in on these. Here's all the horses here. Let me just open up all the details. Okay, there we go. So now if we look at the collateral form at the bottom here, the collateral form is pretty huge. Let's go down to the bottom here. Here we go. And yeah, on the 28th of October, here's all the collateral form. So yeah, you saw Porto Manzano won and is now half a length better off. Cousin Casey was second and is now 1 kilo better off. And Grant van Niekerk takes the ride again, so one to consider. Winchester Mansion is 1.5 kilos better off and was only 1.1 behind the winner. Bless My Stars has now got Richard Foury, which is a more strike jockey for Terry, as that flame suggests. That's also in the mix here for 1.5 kilos less. And then Bingwa here at the 2 kilos less, which is obviously the value for me at 50 to 1, was backed in versus all these other horses from 10 into 6. It wasn't quite right, or didn't quite fire, but maybe today it'll fire with an unknown predator for Janssen van Vuren, Moodley. Maybe the reason why Moodley is in town for Janssen van Vuren. And then, yeah, second base, 3 kilos lower. Yeah, it was 12 lengths off, so that's not really the best run for him on that run. Shoemaker was expected more. Now they're taking the blinkers off, and they've got Alamites only, but he was only 3.75 behind, and he's getting 2 lengths too lower as well. So that's another one that could potentially. It's not a lot. There's Meridius as well. I mean, Macaulay's taking the right today from a bad draw, but he was only 3 lengths behind the winner. So yeah, all of those is a bit of, if you look into the detail, then there's a lot to consider in that race. And yeah, there's the Billy Bowlegs, son of Raj Aragostas, collateral form and electric gold in this race. So yeah, tough one. Quite a few horses that actually has huge odds on them, but doesn't look so bad from a probability perspective. We've had 26 probability stats races for Grade 1, 2000 at Turffontein, Class A, and yeah, funny enough, the highest, the 31%, is not too far away from the 29 on the best betting, the 27 on the Greenie Points, the 28% on Bat C, Atticus Finch. So yeah, there's a lot to consider here. 31%, however, is the highest, and that goes to Bingwa. 27% is pretty high as well. That also goes to Bingwa. So Bingwa from a good draw, maybe a little bit of a roughie to throw into your pick sixes. Then yeah, third run after rest, safe passage as well. Gear change based on adjusted time, 90% chance to win. Obviously, I'm just waffling away based on the exact course and distance, Bat CD as well. You need more time than just a preview. So yeah, when you have access to the site, then there's obviously way more time in hand. We've talked about Sandringham Summit's race, so moving on to too long because the first race is off in about an hour's time. The 7th race, we've talked about that one now, then moving on to the 8th race. And yeah, Tony Peter again with this time with Calvin Habib. Interesting to note, we've had 4 P-stats only for the stakes 3,200. They don't do the 3,200 too often. But the interesting thing to note is of those 4 P-Stats races, the Bat C won all 4 of them. 100% record for top rated to win, finish first. So 100% on, that's Flying Bull. So Flying Bull, although he's not the line horse, Nebraska is the line horse by a little bit, very little, because that 1.05 versus the 0, it's only 1.05 lengths between them. Nebraska's obviously done the 3,200. He drifted from a 1.8 to a 5.5. It wasn't yielding going that day. But yeah, Flying Bull hasn't done the 3,200 at all, but Tony Peter is not the worst trainer in town, so he must know what he's doing. It was huge support from him over the distance, 2,400, 12.5 into 7, 3.5 into 1.2, which he pulled it off with Calvin Habib on board. So I'm going to go with Flying Bull and Nebraska here. Mike de Kock is also a great trainer, and he's got Blackthorn here that's gone second twice. I think that was actually against, yeah, he was ahead of Flying Bull on that run. Now Flying Bull is 2 lengths better off, out 2 kilos, and Blackthorn is also 2 kilos better off with the same jockeys. And there was a 1.5 lengths difference between the two, so you have to include Blackthorn if you're including Flying Bull, because there's only a length in between them and the same distances. And then Breeze Over you have to consider, given the 50% on adjusted time and speed rating, and that goes to Breeze Over with a very magically red Muzieni on board, as he's got a 20% win and a 53% place, and on the horse he's got a 33% win and a 66, so he doesn't miss on the places here. So Breeze Over is another consider. So I'm going to have Flying Bull, Nebraska, Blackthorn, Breeze Over, and also Aramugan maybe as my 5th choice. Wai Chong Mowing has been coming to form of late. Okay, moving on to the 9th race, and here another race where, quite interesting, we have some serious 28% probability stats for opening betting. So that's Mrs. Browning. But Mrs. Browning is not considered as a good thing. If I'm looking at the figures here for Alula Star, for instance, on the Bat C and the Bat 42 days, 84 days, 168 days, and the line bat. But yeah, Bat CD is an interesting one for me. 2.84 lengths on Bat CD, exact course and distance. The second best is 11.5. And here we go to Bon Vivant, a 20-1 shot from a 1 draw, Gavin Lorena and Jan Spearin. 3rd run after a rest. Not a battle, 20-1 shot, considering what you get a 20% chance to win here on Bat CD, and it's 8 lengths ahead on Bat CD to the rest. And we've had 56 races on probability stats on the grade 3, 1,160. The 20% is obviously not the highest. The 28 is on opening betting, so you have to include or consider or respect Mrs. Browning. Miss Daisy also, again, we got Tony Peter, Calvin Hubbard. You'll see Tony Peter pops up quite often today. He's best on overall ranking, 21%. And on Q, Paul Matchett here for Jared Penny. On exotic ranking, 23rd%, another 20-1 shot. And given that it's Paul Matchett, I think we just saw Paul Matchett with another roughie in the previous. No, it wasn't actually Paul Matchett, sorry. That wasn't the previous, it was two back. Let's just see where Paul no, that was Breeze Over, was not Paul Matchett. Breeze Over was Azzy. Okay, apologies, let's move on. So Paul Matchett does have a 20-1 shot there that looks better than a 20-1 shot in any case, in the form of on cue, given a 23% on exotic ranking, 20% on form, 9% on intentions to use the form, and 21% on the total points. As a 20-1 on Q must also be included. And then you've got the 1 star, that's the best overall on all these different rankings. Best overall ranking Flower Bomb with the 1 star here. Second run after rest, but Pawn HP's only got 2 for the day. 16-1, 9% on median speed, 18% on the exact same distance median speed. So it has to be considered, given on the 42 days it pops up pretty high here on third place. Alula Star is first on that, and that was given 1,000 meters, 1.8, and not the 1,160, where it actually doesn't go as well. Well, it hasn't in the past. I'm not saying it can't today. Probably could today. So, and the other one I want to include is the other Tony Peter with Kelvin Brewer, because there's a huge red flame here, and that huge red flame is given an 80% jockey trainer combination for this stable, and that's a What a Winter from a number 1 coming back from a rest. Yeah, for such a big day, another one that I could potentially be throwing into exotics. So just to wrap this one up, yeah, very open. I think Bon Vivant is one to consider with Gavin Lorena. I think Miss Daisy is one to consider, and the stablemate Cold Fact. I think Flower Bomb, Lula's Star, the opening betting first one, Mrs. Browning, and also Paul Matchett's on cue at 20 to 1 is all runners in this contest. David Nieuwenhuizen on No Filter. He's not too far off here either, considering he has got the big boy today at 5 to 10, Sandringham Summit. Maybe he'll want to win another race. And then moving on to the last year, I'm going to go with the line bat horse in the form of Weather Wizard. He only had two runs, but has had 2 very good runs, and the last time was really seriously supported. So gets thrown into the deep end here on a 84 just after winning a maiden. So that's maybe a concern. But Brett Crawford's only got 2 for the day, and 3 for the day, and he does have Weather Wizard here, and it's the line bat horse with a 20% chance to win. It's also the Intentions horse with a 20% chance to win, and it's also the Bomrol best average merit rating adjusted links behind with a 33% chance to win here. Not bad for a 5 to 1 shot for Brett Crawford on Weather Wizard. I'm thinking that he should be improving some more. Others to consider: Scarlet Pimpernel, which is the overall 1 yellow star, with Mike Azzy. By now we know which trainers are going well, but he's got 27% here on the greenie points, and also 27% on the 84 days and the 168 days. So I'm going to go with Weather Wizard and Scarlet Pimpernel. And then there's a roughie 14 to 1 with Muzi Yeni on board George Handel. Third run after a rest, only had 9 runs, but has the best adjusted time, 13%, pace or median speed, 13%, and 20% on the 168-day hidden form, and 17% on the bat curve, which he is 3.5 lengths better than Weather Wizard. And then there's a huge gap on the bat curve from there to the next. It's like another 10 lengths to Leeson at a 33 to 1 shot, coming in third on the consistency bat form, and that's interesting to note, because he's had some okay runs, but clearly you can see at the bat figures 21 and the 6, and there's all those figures. And then George Handel has had 2 9 7 7 9 3s. So even though the consistency wasn't built on today's distance, if he does like today's distance, then he'll be a runner. And you can see the 1600 was supported from 3 into 1.8, and he actually won the 1600 on gravel as well, so he's trying to step up to the 1800. Muzi on board shows intentions to use the form. Best adjusted time, wouldn't be surprised, on third run after a rest. Looks like he's going to be trying to be in this race as well. And one more to mention is speed rating 20% to win on Haslo Grande. That's now been gelded. Macaulay takes the ride. You can see it has been gelded, but it does come back cold from a run in the past, the horse. That's why that little cold button is there. Otherwise you'd have one of these little flames there that says more than 70% wins in place when coming back from a rest. But I've talked a lot, and I think I'll leave the rest to you. As I said, it's not easy to cover so much in little time, but here is our JTR combo with all the intentions of all the trainers and how they look race by race as we see the results coming through. And if you want to see it just on jockeys only, then you can click on the jockeys and you can see every jockey's plan for the day. That's obviously how many runs since his last winner. That's where he's ranked in as a trainer. That's where the jockey is ranked. And the flames is if the jockey and the trainer actually gets along well and does well. D.V. Geertsen has only got one runner for the day, so that's obviously why that is coloured in, standing out in red. And yeah, if we just quickly look at some jockeys that has decent enough chances. Matsunyani doesn't look too bad there. Obviously, Gavin Lorena's got only 7 rides, but there's some flashing here on Sandringham Summit and Portomanzana. So he can pretty decent. Where's Calvin Hubbard? I thought he also looks pretty good. Yes, Calvin Hubbard. So he looks good there, good there, good there, good there, good there, even decent there on Bat C on Atticus Finch, and good there. So Calvin Hubbard is probably your jockey to follow for today. If I have to guess, Gavin Lorena is not looking too badly here. Jason Gates has got 2 decent ones here in Tony Street Art, Tony Peter and Electric Gold. And you see only 0 runs since his last win, so he's obviously in decent form now. Robbie Sage is in decent form, 7 runs. Keegan Brewer here with the first-timer Piba de Oro, as I mentioned earlier. Then Matsunyani's got a couple here for Brett Crawford and Weather Wizard. He's also got Tony Peters' main defender there, and he's also got Purple Pitcher there for Rob Bain Klaassen. So he's got a couple of decent rides. Let's see where Richard Fourie is finding himself. He's got all his rides for Terry. So yeah, he's a birthday boy, so I'm sure he'd want to do well. His best chances seem to be coming around here. Pyromaniac, Swing Upon a Star, and then here again, Rest My Stars, and Nebraska probably his best for the day as far as winning chances are concerned. And here Kumalo's got one for Bottas Ivy League that stands out pretty decent, considering Bottas has only got 2 for the day, and he's booking Kumalo for that ride, so nice little top 4 place money there for Kumalo. Yeah, what else to say? Here's West Mowing's only got one for Wayo Mowing for the day, but doesn't look good on any of the departments that we rate in any case. So yeah, I think that's more than enough said for the day. JTR detail as far as the rankings, that's where the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars comes from. When you look at the stars, 2.7, 3.2 to the second one, and just see if there's something standing out. 2.53, 2, 2.5. This is the ranking of all these columns together. 2.5 to a 3, that's pretty decent. Main defender and Captain's Hindsight, the stablemate is actually better there. 214 is pretty decent here, and that's the greenie. White Pearl, 1.77. Obviously, the next best is 3.5, so 1.77 is an average of all these together, because the highest is coming in at 4, another 4. So very good average on Sandringham Summit there. But at 5 to 10 it should do very good. And yeah, 10 of the ranking, 2.14 here on the brass, and 4.1. Yeah, that's clearly an open race. If your highest is a 4 average, and race 10, 2.55. And then the last daily report, just move that on the rankings here, and yeah, you can see who's, let's just do the top 4, who's looking good as far, and then show the owners as well. You can see if there's any owners that stands out. Hey, Mr. Jooster. Yeah. I hope it's not Marcus, because yeah, I don't think he should be having any horses at the moment. Let's see if Hollywood Syndicate pops up, because yeah, there's Hollywood Syndicate. Blackthorn, there's Hollywood Syndicate. Forgiveness. Yeah, there's another one. There, Troy Quattray. So that's 3. That's Hollywood has in the top 4 total overall rankings already. There's Hyper Paint, Mr. Peter, Almond C. That's obviously, I like that as the top rated in a first timers race. Anyway, that's it from us, and yeah, hope you find it useful, and hope to see you on the site. You get double your first purchase in any case. The purchase is $29 for covering horse racing and 60,000 sports events over 25 sports. every month. So 60,000 events for 25 sports, and yeah, 20 Rand a day, or $30, $29. And then yeah, the VIP players on 300 points profit for the month already, and on 4,000 points profit for the year. So yeah, you can get your notification on your phone and PC, so that you know what to back. And our VIP play is already ready, and you can see the sport is coming in, and we've done pretty decent for the day already. We've had 1, 2, 3 winners and 1 loss on the VIP. Obviously the horse racing, there's plenty on the horse racing side. And then there's a fantasy competition here with anyone can play, it's free, and we do daily prizes as far as access, as far as membership is concerned every day, and then the weekly, a monthly, and a overall prizes. So yeah, thanks guys, please join us. Last, in play we update our sports events within a second of this score changing. So you see much better opportunity when you're looking at in play, because there's one, for instance, here. You'll see Sahul is supposed to win, and they 1-0 behind. So that's the kind of thing. But that you see, they have been green is home. They have been tapering off a little bit of late. Yeah, Gang 1 is already 1-0 up, so that's according to the plan. Here, Russia is a greenie, is already 3-0 up, so that's according to the plan. India, I-League, there's an opportunity for Lajong, which should win that one comfortably, based on that big green wave. So yeah, put your money on Lajong now. But yeah, that's the live in play version, and that's more than enough that I've said today. Maybe the last thing is in your profile here. That's how you actually will be putting on your notifications. Notifications, and you switch on your notifications for VIP and for all the rest by following just whether you use Safari or Edge or Google Chrome or Internet Explorer. I prefer Google Chrome, but choice is up to you. That's it guys, and have a great day at the races. Hope to see you soon.